This is the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top-performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. Each week, your host, W.G. Bunch, and his guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Huntington Tri-State Area. That's Huntington, West Virginia, Ashland, Kentucky, and the Chesapeake and Proctorville, Ohio areas. If you used to live here or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's WG.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, nice to see you. Here we are. There you are. It's the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine. I am your host, WG Bunch. So nice to kind of see you again. And I
kind of see you again.
It took a lot of time, took a lot of money, brought her back. Yes, Vanessa Hankins is back again.
I'm here.
She's back for the attack. How are you?
I'm good.
She's
it is beautiful. Like it's beautiful out.
And she has her Safety Town stop sign earrings in.
I came straight from work.
Oh my gosh, that looks like something Mr. T would have worn.
I
prefer
Miss Frizzle. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yes. All right. Hey, thanks for being here. We're going to get right into. We're diving into. Here's what our topic is today. Cafeterias. Cafeterias are unique,
to say the least.
What do you think the different? What's your difference between a cafeteria and a buffet?
Well, so like in my head of my experiences with cafeteria, if we exclude school cafeteria, let's think about like the restaurant cafeteria.
Okay.
Conveyor belts come to mind. The food is just placed out, already pre-cut, pre-portioned.
Are you sure you didn't eat at the airport?
Listen, you never went to one of those kind of like places where like it set out on the plates and like you grabbed it off the belt as it passed you?
No.
For what you were going to eat.
I don't think so. Maybe I.
What?
No, is that what you think of it as? For real?
And I've looked and looked. So somebody chime in on Facebook and let me know. The only place I ever went to that was cafeteria style as a child was this place in Gallipolis, and it was kind of like Golden Corral situation. You know, Golden Corral's got their little stations.
Okay.
Okay, so you still had the stations, but it was one long belt of food.
Okay.
That was under warmers, like light warmers.
Yeah.
And the food would circle around. So as you would take a plate off, whoever, like that, if it came from the dessert section, they replaced that. That way you could literally walk up anywhere in the line and grab what you wanted. So you didn't.
Maybe I went to a place like that. That's interesting. Maybe I did, and I just
maybe you forgot about it.
Maybe I blocked it out.
Because that's the only cafeteria type place that I went, and I have searched all of the Googles. I asked my dad; he doesn't remember. Love the food, but can't remember the name of it.
My thing with the difference between buffet and with buffet and cafeteria is, buffet is, here is your plate, here is your flatware is already on the table. Whatever, go get whatever you want. As much as you want. You don't like something? Don't eat it. We'll give you a different plate. You go get, as opposed to a cafeteria where it's like, we will be commanding what you are eating. We will be the one. And
I see that.
See, all right. Let's. All right. Let me start with this. Let's start with, and we're going to get into Bailey's and Morrison's and King's Table and all that stuff. But first, let's start where it all starts: school. And the way it started with school is in elementary school. Mm-hmm. And I know, we've got a 2-decade difference in our ages and stuff. In my day, elementary school was, this is what you're having, and this is it. And
get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Exactly. I like that. Yeah,
I practice that every day with children.
That's exactly, and so it was like, here's what we're having, and they give you like a little heads up. Here's what we're having for the week, maybe for the month. I don't know. I can't remember that part. But it was something where if it was like, oh no, if it was something you didn't want, then okay, yeah, I'm going to take a sandwich or something. But the point being, you didn't really get to pick and choose. It was, here is your food. Then in middle school, junior high school, do you want the chili dog or the hamburger? And you're like,
options.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh gosh, can I have a cheeseburger? No cheeseburger. No cheeseburger. No. It was chili dog or a hamburger. No cheese.
No cheese.
And you're like,
I'm out.
I'll go with the hamburger, I guess. Can I get ketchup, mustard, condiments over there? Okay, sorry, thank you. Then when you get to high school,
they add the cheese.
And they start. The door opens a little bit more, and they're like, "We've got chili dogs, we got hamburgers, we got pizza. Which one do you want?" So, choice. Then when I got to college and I living in a dorm, it was like room and board. Oh, then it was like eating in the palace. It was like we have 75 different options.
I'm in control of all of these choices.
I know they were like, yeah,
that's fantastic.
Cooks going, what kind of pasta can I make you? I like the linguine alfredo with the, all right, whatever. Sit down, punk. I'm like, I've come a long way since
burgers and hot dogs.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, look at that.
That's hilarious.
All right, so, and the school situation. All right, be honest. How often did you eat cafeteria food when you were like in grade school?
Every day of my life.
Okay, and did you have a favorite and a non-favorite? Was there something you got you pumped up and something that you were like, ugh?
Yeah, absolutely. Pizza day was fantastic. I will still go to Save-A-Lot and buy school pizzas.
Square pizza?
Square pizza, yeah. It's the best. And then the worst was anything that had some kind of like cranberries or and they always like gave us every single day, and I'm sure it's a requirement by the state now. As an adult, I realized that I didn't know it back then, but like the mixed fruit, like those were awful. And then like if you weren't
that heavy syrup stuff,
and then if you weren't like super careful with your tray, then it mixed with your other stuff, and then you couldn't eat it because now it's bad. It's got the fruit juices on it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
So any day we got the fruit was a bad day.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I don't know really what my favorite I can't believe we're calling them entrees, but whatever.
I mean, they were.
Yeah, whatever the main dish was. I don't know if I had a favorite. My least favorite. They would have
Thanksgiving was great.
Fried bologna. And I was like, fried bologna. It was like weird, and I didn't know how to eat it, and it was a piece of bologna.
So you had never had bologna prior to having that?
No, yeah, but I had. It was always cold on a sandwich.
Oh, see, like fried bologna was like a staple in our house.
Yeah,
so
I had bologna lots, but it was like they would cut like a little slit in it.
Yes, what was that?
I guess so it didn't like bunch up.
Well, that's what you want. You want the bologna.
No pun intended.
You want the bologna boat. That's the whole point of fried bologna.
It was always. I think they always tried to compensate it with mashed potatoes. It was always like
heavy on the carbs.
Yeah, it was always like fried bologna with mashed potatoes. And I'm like,
weird mix.
I'll take a bullet. I'll take the bullet of fried bologna if I can get to the mashed potatoes. And the mashed potatoes, of course, were just like.
There's no taste.
There's
bland.
Yes, it was great. And then I also remember the vegetables were always awful.
Plastic. They taste like plastic.
They would have peas,
like frozen vegetables.
The peas,
they're always the worst.
If you tried to eat the green peas, they turned into soup immediately.
Yes.
They were so mushy.
Yeah,
and I was like, nope. I'm not into this.
They were like in those steam trays.
I guess
all day long.
They probably started. Yeah,
they started frozen. I'm sure
the cooks went out to start smoking at 9:30 in the morning, and by the time we got in to eat at 11:30, everything was done. Now, and the other thing I remember about cafeterias, and don't worry, we're going to get into the names of the cafeterias just a second. Was I remember in elementary school. And I can't remember how the evolution exactly worked. But when you started, you had one choice. Milk. That's it. Milk.
Right.
This is what you eat.
Yeah.
This is what you drink. It's milk. some reason, I don't know how it happened, by the end of elementary school, do you want milk or do you want chocolate milk? And it was like, why the hell would I ever choose milk?
Right.
If chocolate milk is on the menu.
Yeah.
I think they must have ordered 20 times more chocolate milk than regular milk.
Well, and the thing is, like, and I noticed this at work because the schools pack. Cabell County has a lunch program where they pack every kid a lunch, whether they can afford it or not. Like you are fed, which is fantastic. I think Wayne County has it too, but some schools, like if they're smaller, they know their students a lot better, so they'll send like strawberry milk or they'll get Capri Suns. Like, so I guess now it's maybe up to the cooks of what they're ordering. So chocolate milk, white milk. Sometimes apple juice, Capri Sun, and sometimes strawberry.
Yeah, back in the days before we had color television, which is when I grew up. Yeah, by the time I got to junior high school, then it was a situation where it was, do you want milk, chocolate milk, or I think fruit punch got thrown into the mix, and it was like, well, why would I have milk or chocolate milk
if fruit punch is an option?
If fruit punch is an option,
yeah.
Then you get to high school, and then. If I remember correctly,
do you guys have soda machines?
No, that's good. That was a big debate. Again, I'm an 80s boy.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing because they were like, should we put a Coke machine in the high school?
Right.
And it was a big deal. It was like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, like mid-2000s, it was like obviously vending machines are everywhere, but it was like coming into the era of, the world's fattest city, yada, 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 all these things.
We did
that happened later on, but it's like we all wanted it as students. We wanted all the vending machines. We wanted the food vending. We wanted the soda. We wanted the fruit juices, all the things.
Cigarette.
Anything, whatever. We want it all.
Kidding.
We want it all. But then when the healthy kick started and they banned them. So like they were still there because we had the contracts they had to be paid for, but then we weren't allowed to use them so the adults could use them. So they're in our cafeteria, but we're not allowed access to them.
What?
Oh, it was terrible. It would suck.
So they had vending machines not accessible to the kids, but
they were at first. But they gave them to us and then took them away.
Wow.
It was terrible.
Uncool.
Terrible.
I mean,
so
wow.
mean.
Even as a grown-ass man, uncool.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. And then when I went to college, I remember they were like, and this is a dumb thing, I'd go visit campuses, and they're like, "Oh yes, and this is our." I mean, it wasn't a I guess I don't know if they call it cafeteria, our food court, whatever.
Food court.
Domino's and Kentucky Fried Chicken
Like the
and
world is
Burger
whole.
King,
Right?
And I was like, do I have to have milk? And they were like,
I'll take chocolate, please.
they're like, I don't even think any of these places serve milk. We were like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in. Okay, all right, so yeah, all right, that's school. I've been talking to a few people about school cafeterias. One thing I thought was interesting I got to bring up is I talked to my dad about his dining experience in grade school.
Your dad always has the best input.
Yeah, and dad was born in 1940, and he told me a typical lunch was a bread and butter sandwich. 2 pieces of bread with butter in between, and that was lunch.
So
that was it. No side items, no nothing. There Fritos had not been invented yet.
Right, no vending machines for them.
It was a
not even a side of lump of carbs, just the bread.
I would think people in prison would go, ugh.
Oh, for sure. In the state world.
But he was like, well, when you don't, and then of course I had to get an earful. Well, when they're used, that's what you're used to. Well, you are so spoiled, it's ridiculous.
And I was up the hill both ways in snow to get there.
Yeah, I was like, bread and butter sandwiches. That's like the old Blues Brothers joke of, have you ever had a Wish? Have you ever had a Wish sandwich?
No.
You have two pieces of bread and you wish there was something in between. A bow, bow, bow.
You're I have never heard that before.
Yeah, that's an old. I know that's an old thing.
Never heard that one.
All right, so all right, so let's. Before we move on from the high school and the school cafeteria things, I was at Huntington High School, and Wanda Cummings was our film and television teacher. She
like audio visual back then?
Yeah, that kind of thing. And I remember one, and I don't know if she's still with us or not, and I'm not going to say anything, but have you seen Lord of the Rings? She looks like a little hobbit. She was like a little. She was like three. She was like 3 feet tall.
She needs a booster seat.
Yeah, and she would like
as an adult.
She like walked like a cartoon character, and but she was awesome. I love her. And I remember one day in high school, she went, WG, let me show you something. And I was like, okay, what? And it was like she takes me through these like the catacombs of Huntington High School.
You make me nervous when you go into these stories.
Yeah, this is like on 8th Street, and she's like, oh my.
It's like the building that's like still standing.
Yeah, the Renaissance.
By the Y.
Now the Renaissance Center.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
and she's like, I want to show you this, and I'm like, what's going on? And we show up, and all of a sudden there's a room that looks very much like our podcast studio. Had a big, huge table with this huge black tarp on it, and it was like in an 80s movie. She like grabs the tarp, in one yank, pulls the tarp off.
Waddles backwards.
Dust goes up. yeah. And all of a sudden, it's 1963. No. Pulls the tarp off, and here's all this broadcasting equipment. She was like, this has just been kind of sitting here dormant for like
and so WG's life mission was born.
Her thing, she said, I know you're into this stuff.
That's awesome.
And I know you have that show at the college radio station. I just want to let you know this is just kind of sitting back here. We don't have any music or anything.
How awesome.
They didn't even have a cassette player.
I love that she thought of you like that. Because anybody else would have been like, let's get this out of here. Let's throw it away.
That's
awesome.
And that's why I bring it up is because she was like, I don't want this to go to waste because I used to teach students on it and just nobody has interest anymore.
Yeah.
So and she said, but the frequency only goes for less than 1 block. So if you picture where the Renaissance Center, the old Huntington Ice, if you went to the YMCA that's like catty corner, you would not be able to pick up the signal.
So literally right there in the nail salon or like Subway.
Yeah, exactly. You are exactly right. Yeah, if you went over to
that's where I go get my nails done.
That speedway over there,
yeah,
probably out of yeah.
Okay.
So you'd have to be quote unquote on campus or whatever.
So it was for basically a school.
Yeah, it was for announcements, but they just stopped doing them. Well, I did the announcements at Huntington.
Well, they probably upgraded the equipment and had no use for the older stuff.
Correct. And so she said, but it's just here. So my senior year, I guess, it was my senior year, I brought in my own cassette deck and hooked it into the system. And I would DJ.
Did it look like this one over here?
It looked like, it looked very much like that one, yes. And I would hook in and I would play cassettes during lunch. And mainly the only place you could hear it would be in the hallways and in the cafeteria.
Well, how cool though to be like just walking through the hallway like with your friends at lunchtime and you got cool music playing.
And the problem was it was a single deck cassette player. So I'd have to play a song, and I would have to talk while I switched. First of all, the night before, I'd have to get on my cassettes, and I'm like, I got to cue it up exactly where it goes right here. Okay.
So you were working for like hours every evening to prepare.
I mean, look, I had girlfriends every once in a while. I mean, it wasn't like I was
that you dropped off at the wrong house. You had time.
Okay,
you had time.
Enough. But anyway, yes. So, all right. I would say, hey, and here's Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. This is from the Breakfast Club soundtrack. Well, I'm putting.
I love it.
bang, bang, and then I get my next. Yes. So
That sounds fun.
and the people in the cafeteria were the worst critics I had.
Of course.
I didn't even. There were a lot of people I didn't know, and they're like, "Are you the one that does that stupid show?" Because I think what they did is they automatically piped it in, and I don't think the students had a choice of can you turn it off,
Right.
and so and we had a diverse group of students, and
so
they were
if
like,
they didn't like your
they were
kind
like,
of music.
you're not playing enough of this. How come you don't play more of that? Too much of this. We're tired of that.
Everyone's a critic.
Why do you have to talk all the time? I was like,
It's his favorite thing.
I was just like,
obviously.
I was like, I got to change the cassettes and whatnot. And then I can't remember exactly who it was. Somebody went, why don't you just make a pre-made cassette and go from that? And I went, because I'm dumb.
I hadn't thought of that.
But now,
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, nicely done. Yeah, and that was my step into fame. Anyway,
I love that.
All right. Now let's. All right. Before we start, we're gonna talk about Bailey's. Hep ya, toys in a basket and all that.
Yeah, this is all you because
it's all,
I know nothing.
It's all coming in. But first, game time. All right, game time. Lots of good, boy, oh boy. So many people listen to this show, and we love it. And a constant thing, we love it when you play a game that doesn't have anything to do with what you're talking about. Well, welcome. Here we go.
People like to hear me be stupid.
No, this is not, and there's no right or wrong answer. All right, Vanessa's going to be playing your call. A little, kind of food based, a little bit, couple, maybe one or two, maybe not. All right,
Maybe not.
play at home. Vanessa, take your time, think about it.
Okay.
What is the best breakfast cereal?
The
Stop.
best
Think.
breakfast cereal.
Everybody think at home and say it out loud on your
The
own.
best. Oh, that's hard because I still am a get up after my husband falls asleep and sneak a bowl of cereal like I'm 8 years old all over again. I am going just because it's the perfect mix after dinner kind of dessert cereal.
Oh my God, dessert cereal.
Yeah, because that's when I like to eat cereal is after everybody's in bed, so I don't feel like the judgment
I have
of having a second
Why do I have
dessert.
a feeling I know what it's going to be?
Oh no, I bet you don't.
Does it start with a C?
No.
Okay, then
It's
go. Okay.
Honey Nut or Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
Yeah. Now, if I'm actually having it for breakfast,
Right.
I love Lucky Charms
Okay, gotcha.
and Fruity Pebbles. Those are front runners.
You come across as a cinnamon toast crunch girl.
Oh, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's rough on my guts. It's it makes me feel sick. It's got too much sugar.
There's a lot of sugar in those things.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next question is your favorite main character from the TV show Friends. Stop. Think. Everybody at home. I think it's.
This should not be hard for anyone. If you love Friends, you already know.
I think and it's very easy to guess. Well, would it not be easy to guess who mine is? All right, hold on. Yours is who?
Rachel.
Oh, you're a Rachel. Rachel's. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. Yeah,
I mean, Phoebe's pretty awesome too. She's freaking hilarious, and I'm always jealous of funny people. So.
Yes. Back in my heyday, every once in a while, people are like, "Could you be more like Chandler?"
I could see that. I can see that. I can see it.
I don't know, okay. Whatever.
Did you watch it? Were you religious?
I wasn't religious about it.
So-
I watched it,
Yeah.
but it was something where it was like, okay, I get it. I get it.
It's super funny.
See, the problem is I didn't have friends,
Shut up.
so I was like,
Shut up.
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it's super funny because my sister-in-law is obsessed with Friends, so many of the episodes that I missed growing up, when they were airing,
Mm-hmm.
she would watch the DVDs on repeat. So she would finish the whole season and then just start over. It was her background when she was doing her homework in college and all that. So,
yeah.
So we shared an apartment,
Uh-huh.
and she would just always have it playing. So she loves it, and it's kind of rubbed off on my daughter. So now my daughter is obsessed with Friends. So now I get joy out of when I see really funny things, I send them to both of them. So shout out to Erica.
Oh,
She loves the show actually. So it's pretty funny that you came up with Friends of all the shows to ask about.
That's very sweet. All right. Last question, and yes, we're getting into the cafeteria stuff. Just pump your brakes, folks.
Wait,
here we go.
Patience.
Last one. I've got a few to choose from, but I'm only going to ask you one. Did you watch Saturday morning cartoons when you were growing up?
Absolutely.
Now, then that would have been in the 80s, right, for you? Okay. Your favorite Saturday morning cartoon?
Flintstones.
Saturday morning cartoon, the Flintstones. The Flintstones were on in the 60s.
Flintstones. I don't know.
Did
That's
they
what
have
I watched.
Did they have a new Flintstones on Saturday mornings for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe.
I watched Flintstones.
Oh, okay. Hey, I have no problem with
I
that.
don't know. I mean, I was a kid. I don't know how I was watching it. That's what I watched. I don't know. I have no idea, but that's what I watched.
Okay, that's cool. All right. Hey, I watched plenty of Flintstones. Yes, I used to just, Pebbles and Bam. I remember the spinoff. Pebbles and Bam Bam had their own show.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
They were teenagers.
Oh, never seen that.
Yeah, and
see, I was more of like a Simpsons gal myself later in the evening.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But yeah.
Yes, the best Saturday morning cartoon in the history of the world is Super Friends.
Well, and then all. Oh, that was a good show. Yeah. I totally see that with you.
In the Hall of Justice. Yes. People now are like, hold on. There was a cartoon that had who? Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman and Aquaman.
Yeah.
And those tagalongs.
Oh my gosh.
Wendy Martin and their dog. Whatever their dog's name was. Whatever that dumb dog's name was.
And I bet you,
yes.
I don't know, you might not know this. There was another show that I watched when I was a kid that was like, they saved the planet. They had the rings, and they with our powers we combine.
Oh, Wonder
what
Twin?
Was that?
Not Wonders. It's.
They all had these rings. One was like water, one was earth, one was fire, and wind. All of it. But
I know what you're talking. I was unfortunately. I was sleeping in by that time because of Friday nights. I was sleeping in on Saturday mornings by that time.
Gotcha.
Not the Power Rangers.
No, so Power Rangers was like my little siblings thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it. I don't know because I remember that show, and then I also remember. God,
were they Japanese or were they Americans?
No, they were American.
That right now people are yelling.
They're yelling
They're yelling
yelling
at the radio, going, "It's blah blah blah." I don't know.
My thumbs are not going fast enough. I'm trying.
All right.
Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Oh, I never would have guessed that. Captain Planet and the Planet. Wow.
Let me see the year on this. Let me see if this was like. This was in the 90s.
Yeah, talk about the most unoriginal name.
Well, so that's
what are we
going to
name him? How about Captain Planet? Okay. Well, what are we going to name the other people? The Planeteers?
Our world is. Our world is in danger. The Earth can no longer stand the terrible destruction plaguing our planet. There are sent 5 magic rings to 5 special young people, and they're from all over the planet Earth. And with their powers combined, they summon the Earth's greatest champion, Captain Planet.
And all 5 of the teens that have to fill out applications, send in resumes,
make sure they had good GPAs.
Yes, and say, "Here's why I think I'm worthy of a ring." Ugh, competitive. All right. Here we go. All right, let's cafeterias. People are groaning all over the place. When are you going to talk about cafeterias? All right, we're talking about cafeterias now. Number 1, the heavyweight in our area, Bailey's. That's the one when you talk about.
That's the one everybody always talks about.
Yes, and I remember eating at Bailey's a couple times, but not. It wasn't like a favorite of mine.
Wasn't great?
It was okay. It was very, 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 and everybody knows we're not a Wikipedia page. We don't, I don't.
No, we're not.
You can tell by the way I talk. I don't start looking up dates and when they opened here and then they did this and then all of a sudden this is when they sold it to this.
So this one I actually looked up. 1906, never mind.
Wow, you're off to a good start there.
Okay, established in 1934. Well, there was a big happening in 1963, so it stole the deadline. But 1934.
Okay.
And it was open for 6 decades.
Okay. Well, what they were known for is when I asked people, and I kind of remember it, but not real big, is I reached out to a couple of our listeners who said, "Are you going to talk about Bailey's?" Yep. I don't know if it was one person or if it was everyone that worked the food line. Their saying was, "Hep ya?"
Like just real short.
Yeah, hep ya?
Yeah.
And yes, can I get the cream spinach? Splap.
Why cream spinach?
I don't know, because that's some cafeteria stuff. And then they slide your. See, the thing is, this is a different thing, and I don't know which is which. Some cafeterias, your tray stayed on the side with the servers.
Oh, and they add it at kind of like in school.
Yes, and sometimes you had the tray.
Oh, no, they just plopped it on.
But yeah, and
Gotcha.
and it'd be a thing where it's like if it was already pre-made in a little bowl, and they're like, "Hep ya? Can I get the cream spinach?" They would just give you the bowl of the cream spinach.
And they say that every time? That's their thing?
That was one of their big things.
That's weird.
Their other huge claim to fame was they had a basket of toys that when kids came in, you could pick a toy out of the basket of toys. They were like little. A lot of our listeners referred to them as trinkets. They were like
McDonald's toys, kind of a deal.
It was like even I think it was like an army man, or it was
so even like quarter machine type.
Yeah. Or it was
Okay.
like a fake ring,
A little mood ring or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
Gotcha.
Or a little frog that you like pumped the little air thing, and it would kind of barely pop up into the air. You'd like push the little thing, and it'd go boink, boink,
Yeah, I know.
boink. Yeah,
Like the ones also you can like push through, like it looks like a tail coming off a frog, but you
yes.
flip it and it goes flying.
Something that looks like it came out of a cereal box. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's what I understand. I may be wrong, but it's not like they had Game Boys in there or something like that. It was
way before then.
Yeah. Now, what doesn't make sense, you didn't get to keep the toy.
Gotta give it back.
Yeah, you had to give it back.
Like imagine being I would not want to go to Bailey's. Sorry to any people that are still alive connected to this family, but you're gonna ask my toddler that just stayed calm enough for me to eat a meal to give the damn toy back.
And the other thing is, think about this: when you go to a restaurant and you go to the restaurant, you order food, and the food is not there. Well, that's idle time where I could see a parent saying, "I wish my child."
Now, did they
had a
sell
toy."
things?
I don't.
Like, did they have like when you leave like Shoney's or
No,
any of that you could buy things on your way out the door?
I don't remember reading or seeing anything about that.
Gotcha.
But it was something where it was like, okay, when you go to a cafeteria, you have your food. You sit down.
Oh, so you don't have that idle time.
Yeah, the food is right there.
Okay, I
And
see what you're saying.
I would think the parents would be more in a stage of eat your dinner, don't play with the toy.
For sure.
It'd be different if it was, hey, okay, what do you want while we're making your food? Here's something to entertain you.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not how it worked.
That's weird.
I may be completely off my rocker here. Let me know, because I kind of don't remember that. I'm just going off of what people have told me. But yeah, Bailey's was big. A lot of people are like, oh gosh, of course I remember. We went to go eat at Bailey's, and I remember they would always just say, "Hep ya, hep ya."
I've never heard
Hep
that.
ya. Yeah. Now
I've also never talked about Bailey's, so
Morrison's was also a big one.
now that one I've heard about a lot because
It was at the mall.
Yeah, well, shout out to my mother-in-law. She is a Morrison now, so she loves having like some of their old dishes. She's got them on display. Yeah, pretty
For
cool.
real?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Well, and what was funny is like when I first started dating my husband, I would see him like in her little displays, and I was like, "Well, that's fancy. She's got dishes with her name on it."
But they're from the
They were
cafeteria.
from the cafeteria. They
That's
were antiques.
awesome. Yes, with mushed carrots.
I had no
still
idea. I
on
was
them.
like, oh,
Yes.
Michelle's so fancy.
Now, my biggest mistake at Morrison's was very, very close to where the theater was. And I remember going to a movie with a date.
So was it like in a separate building outside of the mall?
No, it was. I ripped off some clip art from online. That was not our Morrison's.
Oh, okay.
Morrison's was you had to go into the mall to get to it, and if it's where the theaters are still now.
Oh, okay.
But if you just go down that little corridor more,
Right.
that's where Morrison's would have been.
Okay.
Okay. My mistake that I made is, God, I've got a laundry list of mistakes, and I know
the regret on your face right now
know.
is insane.
I'm not gonna call her. Her name starts with S. She knows who she is.
Why do you do this?
Because it's just.
You just put yourself out there.
I
Like,
don't
look
know.
at me.
I don't know how anybody ever went out. I don't know how I ever got married. Got a date. Anyway, here's the thing. I asked this lovely young lady. This is high school, I guess.
Lovely young lady.
Yeah, and I said, "Would you like to go to the movies?" Yeah, sure. Okay, and I talk about I don't have anything against cafeterias, but talk about a rookie mistake. Let's go to Morrison's first. Ugh.
Oh no!
I don't know how she didn't go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. But my biggest mistake.
But wasn't it like trendy to go to those kind of places though?
Not really.
No?
I don't know.
I assumed it was. I don't know.
If I was there, it was not trendy. The trendiness went out the door when I showed up. They were like, "This place used to be cool. Now look
We
who's
thought your
here."
dad had money. Why are you taking
God.
me here?
It was, but it was a thing where I made the mistake of here's your plastic tray, and here's my plastic tray, and I went in front of her.
What?
I know. I'm a dummy.
You take girls to the wrong house.
I know.
You don't
but
let them
stop,
go
stop.
first.
Don't.
Did you also stand with a coat on
No.
while a girl froze to death on prom night? Like, is there anything else you want to add to this?
I don't think I ever did that. But I this poor girl. And here's why I remember it. I went in front of her, and as you're going down the line, it was like, "Yes, I'll have that. Yes, I'll have
You
that.
took what she wanted,
Yes, I'll
didn't
have."
you?
No, I'm just like, and then by the time we get to the end, I had like 7 items. It's like 2 desserts and an.
So how did you pay? Is it like per item or like pay when you go in for whatever?
For Morrison's, it was per item. It was not.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. That's the difference between a buffet and a cafeteria. Cafeteria is what do you want? Okay, you want a dish of this? It's going to be
Gotcha.
$1. You want this? It's going to be
So that
$1.25.
is the scientific difference.
A buffet is
All you can eat.
flat fee. What do you want?
Go
like a
for it.
golden corral thing
The
or
golden trough.
Yes, exactly.
I'm gonna
Whatever.
roll
those
you
yeah.
out of here.
But I got to the end, and I had like 7, 8 items, and I looked back at her, and she had 2. She had like a little like thing of cottage cheese or like a garden salad, and like a dessert, and that was it. And I had this
Smorgasbord
plate
of
it. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh.
the plethora of
And
food.
I was like, "Is that all you want?" Yeah, that's it. This is all. Yeah, this is good. This is gonna be fine for me. I was like, "Oh, good." And you can't take it back. You can't say.
Well, and that's like
you can't
when
say,
you
"I don't
know-
want this anymore," and I don't want that anymore. I'm stuck. And I was like, and I ate nothing. I ate like one thing, and she was like, "Aren't you gonna eat the rest of your food?" I
Well,
was like,
no, now I feel guilty because you're not eating.
yeah, something's going on, and now I'm like, why didn't I think of this earlier? And the other trick that they play is you get there.
So serious right now.
Here is your plastic tray. Here's your empty plate or whatever. The first thing they hit you with, desserts were first. And they're like, "So which dessert would you like?" And the desserts were so doctored and in a beautiful way. It was like,
Right.
"Would you like the strawberry cheesecake or the chocolate forever or the 17 flavored Jello and you're like, "I want them all.
All colorful.
I want
and
them all."
beautiful
And I'm like, and you did, and then they would move you to the salads, and they'd have a big, huge bowl of that
So
fruit.
they hit you with the desserts first.
Yeah, and so by the time you got to like your entree, You didn't care. You were just like,
Yeah.
I want the meatloaf.
You've already
Or-
mentally.
Oh my God! It
been-
was impossible to eat it all, and she knew better. She was so much smarter than me. Hi, I'm talking to you. Yes, it was our little date in high school. Yes. Oh God! And I was just so embarrassed. I was like, oh no, she should have gone. She should have gone first. And then all right. So anyway, and then the last one I want to talk about real quick is, you know where HIMG is now.
Yeah.
That's where East Drive-In Theater used to be, across the street. There, not where Golden Corral used to be, but up there's that commercial condominium building where there's like a lot of doctors' offices.
Yeah.
Okay. That used to be a mall called the East Hills Mall.
Yes, I remember
Hills
that.
was like that was the.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but I know of that.
It was the anchor, and in that little mall, shopping center, whatever you want to call it, they had a cafeteria called King's Table.
I still like I know I googled this, so like I know he's not lying to me, but I thought he was making it up.
King's Table.
If you're not from here and you're just listening because you want to find out about us,
King's Table
here in
was
Huntington, this place is crazy.
That place was easily my freaking favorite. It was like Game of Thrones.
Now, was it popular?
Not really. But it had like
Such a train wreck. I just like deflated your whole excitement at that little question.
It had like King Arthur flags and stuff with wolf. It looked like something out of Game of Thrones 30 years before Game of Thrones.
I don't know how I've gone my whole life without ever hearing about this place until
everybody,
you mentioned it.
You ate at these big, long, dark wood picnic tables,
right?
And it was like and it was like medieval nights. You know, that tourist attraction they have like at the beach and stuff like that, where they joust and all that stuff. It was like that restaurant without the jousting.
You're like, where's the jousting?
Yeah, we didn't know. I don't think Medieval Nights was open back then.
So were these like? I'm on Google now, so this is where my questions are talking. These were not just here. Like these were a chain.
I didn't know.
I think these were like everywhere.
And you had these teenagers who hated being there, going, "Good evening, Lord and ladies. What mouse I get you from the? Would you like iced tea, water, or coffee for your?" And it was
how weird.
And it was like, and also the other thing about back then is, I remember I used to have to wear a tie. At least my dad would say,
like to go places.
We're going to King's Table. Put on
You
a.
also wore one to the what was the place we talked about in the previous episode that had the volcano?
Oh, Club Pompeii.
Club Pompeii. You had to dress up there too.
I had a nice little selection. I had a nice little selection of clip-ons.
Yeah.
Because that was all I could do.
Your dad was trying to make you an acceptable human being.
And it was public. I mean, I remember. The first time.
For him.
First time I went on a plane, I remember it was like,
put your tie on.
You got to wear a tie, and I was like, I do. Okay.
They're gonna identify you if something happens about that tie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
gotta
don't
wear your tie.
You ain't going to church without a tie. You don't. Okay. All right.
I love that.
All right. Hey, share with us your cafeteria memories and stuff. I know we kind of went here, there, everywhere. Oh,
I like it.
Let me get real quick question. I did do one more. This is a very quick question. What do you think today, 2023? What do you think the number one favorite food item? And it's if you want to call it entree or whatever. What do you think the number one food item for elementary school kids in the United States is? Now, and I'll give you a hint. I thought it would be something like chicken nuggets, and it's not chicken nuggets. The number one thing they're like, this is what I like to have.
So my daughter doesn't even eat school lunch, so I don't even have a touch base to go on with this. I am going to guess based on the school lunches that kids bring to Safety Town. I'm going with hot dogs.
Hot dogs, interesting. Hot dogs, not.
I don't know.
Sandwiches. And what do you think the number one sandwich they like is?
So
it's the classic.
I have a very many ham and cheese sandwiches that the kids bring to Safety Town, and turkey and cheese sandwiches.
Wow, you're really striking out here.
Well, there's lots of bologna sandwiches too.
Peanut butter and jelly is number one.
Really? They've never brought peanut butter and jelly.
Now this is national.
I was gonna say there's a lot of kids that have peanut allergies, that shocks me.
Oh, that could be. That's
Maybe that's why Wayne and Cabell County have too many kids with allergies.
Yes, that's a national thing. So
That's hilarious. I wouldn't have thought that.
Before we wrap up, hey, we did this little contest. We're giving away
Finally another contest. We've got another winner.
Yes.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Tell us your favorite funny movie. That's from a couple episodes ago, and we have done our drawing. This is fair. I just want to make sure everybody knows. Look.
Listen, we're popular. People listen to us from all over.
And I will have to say, if you would like to butter your bread, as they say, and maybe send me a little something, maybe
the next game won't be fair.
Maybe your name might show up in the drawing more than once. Hard to tell. But okay, so we're giving away a dozen Stewart's hot dogs. Thanks so much to Stewart's. They ship all over the place. That's a huge reason why we give them away. But Vanessa, our winner of the Stewart's hot dogs, is whom?
Our winners are Mark and Liz Davidson out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Shout out to Mooresville. His sister lived there for a long time, down the road from DEI. So lovely place to live. Thank you guys for listening. We love it.
And I know where Mooresville, North Carolina is. It's right above South Carolina.
Mooresville.
Oh, Mooresville.
With your lame joke, sir.
I know. Anytime somebody says, I'm from so-and-so, North Carolina, I go, I know exactly where that is. It's right above South Carolina.
So I always get caught on that.
Yeah.
Carly will ask me something, and I'm like, I don't know. South Carolina, North. It's one of the Carolinas.
Yeah, and then
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's one of them.
Yeah, then we flip it. So, all right. Thanks to our sponsor, Realty Exchange. Tell us quickly about Realty Exchange, Vanessa.
Realty Exchange is the top-selling real estate company in the Huntington Tri-State Area. We're licensed in West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky, and Florida. Find us online at realty-ex.com.
And if you're thinking about doing a podcast, or you're doing a podcast, no one's listening, Circle 270 Media. They're the best. They're they're the secret sauce to this place. So there you go. Hey, thanks for listening. A lot of other shows coming up. We got exciting shows happening. It blows me away all the time how many people are listening. So thank you so much.
Pretty amazing. We're very thankful.
Yes. All right. Vanessa, take us out.
We are out of here.
Thanks for listening to the Huntington Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Realty Exchange, the top performing real estate company in the Huntington, West Virginia Tri-State Area. If you have a memory you would want WG to talk more about, just send him an email at memories@htstimemachine.com or post a comment on the Time Machine Facebook group page. Did you like this episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let Realty Exchange know that you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.